Hey there Cosmic Warriors, and welcome back to another video. Okay, so in today's video we are going to be taking a look at the revolution and the rebellion if you have Uranus in your second house, or if you have Aquarius ruling your second house within your natal birth chart. But before we do jump in, what I want you to do is make sure that you like this video if you like it. Also, make sure to subscribe if you have not already, and to click that little bell in order to keep yourself notified with more content. And in the comment section, let us know how you rebel against authority. Yes, how do you rebel against authority? And one more quick thing that I would like to mention is that if you do want to know more information all about your Uranus sign, your Uranus house, that is a mouthful. Also, if you want to know more information all about your Aquarius house and your 11th house within your natal birth chart, then I have created an Aquarius season/archetype ebook. So what I am going to do is I'm going to provide a link to that ebook in the description box below so that you can pick up your copy today if you would like. Alright, so with all those introductions out of the way, Uranus in the second house / Aquarius ruling the second house. Let's do this. Okay, so if you have Uranus in the second house or Aquarius ruling your second house, you're most likely going to rebel when it comes to your earning potential. You're going to want to seek independence and freedom when it comes to your finances. So maybe you find security in knowing that you have a bank account that belongs to you, or maybe you refuse to let another person dictate to you or try to tell you what you should or shouldn't do with your money. You might even disobey what the government says, or you might actually challenge what the government says in terms of money and finances. And so when you make your mind up when it comes to these things, you are going to stick to your guns. Now, with this, I'll say just be careful, please. Uranus in the second house, Aquarius ruling the second house, people, because breaking the rules set out by the government could very well, I don't know, land you in a shaky, not so stable situation. Could result, for example, in extra charges, extra fees, and quite possibly run-ins with law enforcement. But at the same time, I do think that this rebellious outlook towards your finances and your earning potential could result in you coming up with some pretty creative, outside of the box ideas. So for example, you could be the type of person who stumbles upon a new job. A job that aligns more with your core values and your core beliefs because of how you challenged the status quo. Or you could quite possibly find a new source of income due to a sudden financial disruption or change. Though following on from this point, it could very well be here that you accidentally land yourself into a new financial situation, hopefully for the better, or that you suddenly come up with an original idea that results in a new source of income for yourself. This could be you coming up with an idea to sell products online, okay? Or this could be you experimenting with a side hustle, all right? It's known as the side hustle nowadays. It's a big thing today. But then again, it could even be you doing the craziest, wackiest, strangest, weirdest of things to earn money. This could quite possibly be you, Uranus in second house, Aquarius ruling second house types, developing a particular skill or talent that is so bizarre, so unique, and so individual. A skill or talent that very few people are good at. And then by you being good at this talent or skill and then using that particular skill or talent, you could then use it to earn yourself a certain income. Now, of course, not all of our skills and talents have to be capitalized or used as earning potential, as they can be nowadays, most commonly. Then again, having said that, if you do have Aquarius ruling your second house and you have a Capricorn rising as well, maybe you're all for earning money for what you are good at. Though whether or not you do use your skills or talents to earn money, I still think that if you have Uranus in the second house or an Aquarius rising, maybe you feel a deep sense of satisfaction and pleasure just from knowing that there is something about you that is somewhat unique and special. And so maybe that's enough for you to feel good about yourself. It could quite possibly be that you're all about giving to charity or to ethical organizations and companies. Maybe you see right through fake, superficial or phony companies that are simply out to grab money and take from society. So perhaps you prefer to keep a strong mind and think for yourself rather than giving blindly to corrupt companies and organizations and so on. On the other hand though, maybe you can kind of be self-righteous when it comes to this outlook, or maybe you can have this, I'm gonna go off the grid, I'm gonna take myself completely off the grid attitude towards the whole financial game. And so in this respect, you might take your financial independence to a pretty radical extreme or radical level. So what might this translate into? Well, it could be you, for example, refusing to stop buying from anywhere or shopping from anywhere that isn't ethical in your eyes. Or this could be you completely boycotting certain products. Could even possibly be you becoming a minimalist here, or moving location to a location even that is less populated, or you rebelling against anyone who earns or spends money in a way that you do not agree with. Or it could be quite possibly you starting a particular movement or a cause, a movement or cause that aligns with your core values. Essentially suggesting that your rebellion and your revolution lies in addressing the collective's outlook towards money and resources and materials and so on. And when you find anything that you don't agree with or that isn't fair, you may be likely to just smash through the existing structures in order to make way for new innovating ones. You may be trailblazers and pioneers in the realm of the economic climate. Now, like I said, this could be on a radical level, but on a personal level, you may have the tendency of causing some disruptions. You might upset others, for example, with your very strong mind towards what you value, and you may not even overly care either. Meaning that if you possess a core value, such as only buying certain products or produce, you might make it somewhat obvious and clear to everyone else around you. You might even refuse to go out to certain restaurants or bars with your friends, or you might refuse to shop or step foot in certain shopping facilities, or you might decline certain events because you know that that particular event doesn't resonate with you anyway. Or you could quite possibly be quite preachy to other people that are maybe shopping or spending in a way that doesn't align with the way you do it. Basically, when it comes to what or who you value, Uranus in the second house, Aquarius in the second house, you're very much aware of those things, and so you're gonna stick to them. you're gonna stick to them regardless of how many people are trying to tell you otherwise. And the more that others try to push on you to change, the more you may actually resist and then stick to what you know. And so in this way, I think it's good for you to figure things out for yourself and come up with your own theories and concepts. But at the same time, I think it's also a good idea to maybe hear people out and see what others have to share in terms of what they value as well. But still, you know, another thing about the second house is that it can look at our financial situation, so looking at our financial providers and how they provided for us, and it can also look at our experiences as a toddler. So with that being said, quite possibly here, it could be that your financial providers taught you, they really taught you the importance of being an independent earner, shopper, spender, saver, and whatnot, just anything in terms of money and finances. Or it could be that sudden events happened within your physical realm. So looking at your physical environment, so your physical home, looking at your items and so on, these very things could have been shaken up, right? Sudden changes could have come out. And so maybe you were forced in a way to think for yourself in that regard. Or it could even be that maybe your financial providers, they experienced really drastic circumstances. Whatever the case here, you maybe developed values of making your own financial decisions. And so you're most likely going to rebel against anyone who tries to control you or confine you financially and also physically. And following on from this point, another thing about your rebellion and your revolution here is that you're going to be the type of person who says, I will dress in whatever clothes I want, thank you very much, or I will style myself whatever way I please. I will buy whatever I want to buy. I don't care what anybody has to say about it. I don't care what you think. I'm going to do it because I want to do it. And if others dare make comments about your body, about what you choose to own, what you choose to buy, how you choose to spend your money, you most likely will demand that they not judge you or label you. You might even strongly detest it if others judge you based only merely upon your physical attributes. And naturally, these very things can stem into the possessions and the materials that you own as well. Maybe you wish to be appreciated and valued as a human being, someone with real thoughts, real emotions and feelings and depth, not just as someone who is simply acknowledged for what you have or for what you possess. And so maybe you're all for breaking the rules and pushing past societal boundaries when it comes to these things. Now, it could be suggested here that the amount of money that we own or that we have in our bank account, it can make us feel good about ourselves. I mean, I personally can relate to this because I definitely feel a lot more stable and secure whenever I know that I have a good bit of money in my savings account. But yeah, when it comes to you, Uranus in the second house, Aquarius ruling the second house individuals, you might actually be comfortable with having an unstable income, an income that can come suddenly and it can leave suddenly just as much. So perhaps you're used to the unpredictable ups and downs in this way. So you're used to maybe having an unreliable income or unreliable work or a rebellious spending attitude or a pretty erratic spending attitude. Maybe you're even used to working unusual hours, or you're used to spending all that you have just in one moment like that, just out of nowhere. Though at the same time, maybe you do strive to have a solid, stable income or just to live in a much more stable environment. But I think here that you can even help encourage others through their financial or physical ups and downs. Maybe you can actually inspire others, you can encourage them to have hope, especially during a time like 2020. I mean, we're only a few months into 2020 and things have gotten pretty chaotic, and so the economy is struggling. But I think here that with your knowledge and your understanding, if you have these placements, you can help other people. You can really help lift them up and encourage them, like I said. Though ultimately, it is you who can shock others with your capacity to really launch yourself into new, unexpected financial or physical territories. And then what you can do is you can use these very experiences to your advantage by establishing an entirely new outlook or perspective. Yeah, it can be an exciting roller coaster, but it can also be terrifying and extremely challenging. But wherever you end up, if you have these placements, you will continue to use your originality and your intellect and your wit and apply these things in the name of truth and in the name of a better tomorrow. Okay then, Cosmic Warriors, so that concludes my video on the revolution and the rebellion of Uranus in the second house / Aquarius ruling the second house within the natal birth chart. Now, again, let us know in the comment section how you rebel against authority, and also if you happen to have any of these placements, let us know what you thought of the video in the comment section as well. Again, if you did like this video, make sure to like it, subscribe, and click that bell so you can keep yourself notified with further videos from myself. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for subscribing if you have already, and I will be back with another video very, very soon. Bye!